welcome back to another episode of Hit 'em on the Side Football. And today I wanted to get into the Ravens' recent press conference with Eric DeCosta and Steve Bisciotti. And I just want to say there was a lot of information that was very interesting in that press conference with Steve Bisciotti. And I will get a little more in depth, talk about some of the things that I took from the press conference, and I just wanted to give like my feedback on what's going on with the Ravens and how the press conference will shape the future of how this team will be in the next off season. So basically the press conference starts out like behind the scenes, like the way that the Ravens owner Steve Bisciotti was this was like a very emotional decision of his life. And he said that like it was crazy. Like he said this was probably the craziest firing in NFL history. Bisciotti says that his instincts was the reason what led to the John Harbaugh firing. He said it was no long build up, just a phone call. He picked up the phone and he said, "Yeah, it's time to go." And he admitted like he was overwhelmed with emotion while doing it, but in the twist that says everything about who John Harbaugh is. Bisciotti says Harbaugh ended up consoling him, the coach. He had just reassured the owner, and that's all you want from a head coach that's been with the team for that long. Respected the decision by Harbaugh, reminded him that he had been a special teams guy for 18 years before this opportunity. There was no bitterness, just mutual respect. Bisciotti also explained that coaching in 5-year chunks takes years off your life. And he noticed that John Harbaugh's he doesn't want him to go to a team looking for a quarterback. He wants him to go to a team that already has an established team. So he says like if Harbaugh ever steps away, he could do like broadcasting, take a year off or come back to coaching when he's ready. Importantly, Bisciotti says that he let Harbaugh go to relieve the pressure of like social media that had placed on him and give him another chance somewhere else. So that's also what led to the firing of John Harbaugh. Now the Ravens are turning the page patiently. Bisciotti made it clear that the next head coach will get time, 6 years, to reach a Super Bowl. No rushing, no panic. He wants this to be the guy they can see for many years, not a short-term fix. That philosophy also carries over to roster building. General Manager Eric DeCosta echoed that sentiment, saying the idea of being one player away is fool's gold. Teams that trade picks for a single splash move often fail. The Ravens believe in right player, right price, and building through the draft. That is also very important because sometimes a lot of teams will go in all in on a player, and sometimes it don't work out. And then you wasted a bunch of picks, and it's like you got to start all over next season. So I agree with Eric DeCosta saying that. Eric DeCosta also pointed to real football issues. The defense needs more consistent pressure to help the secondary. The offensive line never fully gelled, even though the team did lead the league in rushing. And losing players like Justin Metabike affected sack production, including Kyle Van Noy's numbers decreasing. So the Ravens are looking to revamp the defense and hoping that Metabike could return, could help the defensive line for the Baltimore Ravens. And as for Lamar Jackson, Bisciotti was clear. Lamar had no problem with Todd Monken or John Harbaugh. He mentions he's non-confrontational, professional, and the organization wants him front and center during interviews moving forward. So the whole Lamar Jackson and Todd Monken and John Harbaugh not getting along wasn't true. And a lot of reports saying that it was something going on, but apparently you heard it from the actual owner and the GM that there was nothing going on between them. So everybody can move past that now. Also, Bisciotti also confirmed the Ravens want Lamar's contract done before the season starts. No dragging it out, no drama. The annual number will be a little higher, but the goal is simple. Give Lamar another championship window. There was even a lighthearted moment jokingly implying that Mike Tomlin, who had reportedly stepped down, could be a candidate. Bisciotti admitted he was shocked by how Tomlin handled his situation, but made it clear this search will be deliberate. Bisciotti also values player opinions. He drew a firm line. Players don't have power in ownership decisions, but respect matters. So he's basically saying like, I have the last word, but I'm open to hearing what players have on their mind. That's what I got from the press conference. And in the end, Bisciotti says he had to remove love and emotion from the decision, even though it was full of both. This wasn't about blame. It wasn't about Lamar. It wasn't about one bad. It was about timing, instinct, and believing the Ravens can build the next great era the right way. And in final thoughts to this, I agree with everything Bisciotti said. I think it was time for John Harbaugh to be released. He had a good run with the Ravens. I think it's time for them to like. It's time for something new. I feel like it's like Ravens have been in a stagnant position for a while. I think it's time for them to move into another direction. I feel like it's time for them to see what they can do with another coach and how this team could get back to being in the playoffs and competing for a Super Bowl. But that's all I took from this video. I thought Eric DeCosta made some good comments about Lamar being in part of the hiring process for a new coach. I think that's good. And let me know what y'all think. Do y'all think do you think it was time for the Ravens to let John Harbaugh go? Do you agree with some of the statements made by Steve Bisciotti? Do you think it was the right decision to let him go? Let me know what y'all think. And if you're new to the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. If you're a Baltimore Ravens fan, Comment down in the video what y'all think, and if you a fan and you just passing by, just let me know what y'all think. And that's all I got for y'all today.